Big occasion. I know there was special satisfaction in the first round knockout of Montel Griffin when you were avenging that disqualification. This was as great a performance as you could possibly have put together for 12 rounds in our eyes. You agree?
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Anytime you bring somebody that think they can beat me, I love it. And I like Reggie. I enjoy Reggie coming. My father worked with Reggie and got Reggie real good. But the one time I sparred with Reggie, I knew I was much too fast for Reggie. That's why I sparred one round and got down, because I knew I could beat him. My father didn't think we'd fight, but I knew we'd fight. And, you know, sometimes, like I said, God tells people things through other sources. So God was telling me that this day would come, so I was prepared for it. I knew I just had to be in good shape. Thank for the basketball. Basketball got me excellent shape. Thank Rex Morgan and the Gulf Coast Sun Dogs, because they helped me. They worked hard. We ran a lot, and that took my mind off of boxing, which didn't make it so boring for me to get prepared for this fight.
Yeah, it's good to do 9 different things. Now, was there a temptation in the later rounds, because the crowd got a little bored, was there a temptation in the later rounds to risk a little more and go for the knockout?
A big temptation, but that's where that self-discipline comes in. You have to be self-disciplined. That's what I got. That's why, like Ice Cube say, I'm a vet. You know, I've been doing this thing for 20 years. I know how to keep my composure, maintain, and, you know, I came in the fight, I had a bruised rib from training, but I didn't complain. I didn't say nothing to nobody because I don't have excuses. You know what I'm saying? I came to win. My mother.
Somebody managed to bruise your rib in training?
Well, actually, what happened was I got caught. I threw a hook and I got through a body shot, and it caught me turned wrong, but I didn't stop. He didn't know he bruised my rib because I don't care. Because nothing's gonna stop Roy Jones when Roy Jones comes to win.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the principals first. In the blue corner to my right, wearing the blue trunks, weighing 174 pounds, his professional record, 18 victories, 3 defeats, 1 draw, and 7 wins coming by way of knockout. A proud member of New York City's finest, hailing from the big city, New York City, rated number 3 by the WBA and number 1 by the WBC, the challenger, Tricky Rick Frazier. His opponent in the red corner, wearing the gold sequin trunks, weighing 175 pounds, with a professional record of 38 victories, 1 defeat, 32 wins coming by way of knockout. The pride of Pensacola, Florida, the WBC and WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr. 12 rounds for the WBC and WBA light heavyweight championship of the world.
In the dressing room. I'm confident that you know exactly what I expect of you. Gentlemen, I will control this fight. This will be a clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves. May the best man win.
This small 16 3/4 foot ring did not affect the earlier fight. It could affect this fight if Frazier intends to do a lot of running. Perhaps it signals the fact that Roy Jones, having had to train through the holidays, doesn't want to have a long fight.
Well, again, this ring does not meet the regulation size, according to the WBC. The minimum is supposed to be 18 feet.
Yeah, but they make up the rules as they go along. You know that.
Jones, who sometimes doesn't use the jab very much, tonight starts out using the jab against Frazier, the southpaw. And as usual, Roy defies convention because a lot of fighters don't try to jab against southpaws. They lead with the straight right hand instead.
Well, one thing that he is doing that I agree with that he wasn't doing the other times before southpaws is he's moving to his left most of the time. Now he just went to the right.
What's the advantage of moving to your left against the southpaw?
Then it sets up your left hook to the body and head. And with that, then you can also nail him with a straight right hand. The other way, you're walking right into him.
Break clean, step back. You want to see the opposite example? Go back and look at your tape of De La Hoya Whitaker and watch Oscar move to his right all night long against the southpaw, therefore nullifying his own left hook.
Absolutely.
Well, so far Frazier is living up to your analysis. No offense, all defense.
When asked yesterday what he would do against Roy Jones, Frazier basically said, hey, what can you say about Roy Jones? He's super fast, hits very hard, has every conceivable skill. I guess I'll do whatever I can. Frazier flicking a couple of jabs. Jones, who has been increasingly devastating to the body in the last year, has only sneaked in one effective body punch against Frazier so far.
He has nothing to punch off because Frazier just does not lead. His first move is always defensively. Makes it very, very difficult for Jones. Not that he can't win rounds easily, but for him to nail him with a big punch.
Down goes Frazier.
Was that a punch?
He's complaining that he slipped.
Looked like a fall to me.
It looked to me like he went in the water.
Well, I suspect there's no boxing announcer alive who wouldn't have looked for the earliest opportunity to say, down goes Frazier, and there it was.
Good round. He's trying to catch it. Tear your jab, fake your jab, and then come with another one. You'll hit it. You'll hit it. Okay, then. Let's go be there. You're scared as shit. Jab. Wipe the top of my head. Wipe the top of my head. Right here. Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, that was a slip. That's all.
Yeah, I know that.
Hey, you warmed up now, baby. All right?
Some water.
Here you go. Take an overhead look of this knockdown. You see the cushion with the advertisement on the side of the ring, just outside of the ropes. He stepped on that and slipped. There was a light cap to the top of the head that might have helped the slip.
It was completely off balance. He was.
So even though Pepsi 1 has only 1 calorie, it was heavy enough to knock over Richard Frazier.
And give you an opportunity to pay homage to Howard Cosell's call in the George
Well, it
Foreman
wasn't
fight.
exactly the thunder of Jamaica. It wasn't Foreman lifting Frazier off the canvas with his uppercuts. But it was the best we could do for the moment. And now the advertisement has been removed from the far side of the canvas.
Well, no matter how small the ring is, Frazier is finding a way to make it look bigger.
And Jones switches to southpaw and nails Frazier with a right hook. And leads with the left out of the southpaw stance.
Frazier still will not punch back. They will walk right through him.
I suspect that Jones is switching to southpaw because he believes that'll give him a better punching angle against the southpaw Frazier.
Well, he's switching to southpaw because he doesn't respect Frazier's arsenal at all. You can see Frazier, when he gets hit, he doesn't punch back. If he blocks a punch, he doesn't punch back.
Will it be appropriate for the referee to step in and say, Ricky Frazier, you're here to fight. If you don't throw punches, I'm going to penalize you and maybe even stop the fight.
Well, again, Larry, many years ago, the most effective thing a referee could do is walk over to the corner and say, unless you start fighting, I'm going to disqualify you and you're not going to get paid. They hear that word paid and somehow it wakes them up a little bit.
Gets their attention.
We mentioned that Jones is fighting a third consecutive southpaw tonight. Lou DeVal in the summer, Otis Grant in November up at Foxwoods. And in both of those fights, he switched to southpaw stances from time to time as well. As he did against Derek Lucas a few years ago in fighting a southpaw who once went the distance in a victory over Frazier.
Frazier seems to be patrolling the beat in a dangerous neighborhood.
Jones whacking him with a lead left hand out of the southpaw stance.
Make him feel more comfortable if somebody put the lights out.
Now Jones goes back to his conventional stance. Jones in the conventional stance, holding his left hand below his waist and looking for lead right hand opportunities. There's a landed right. If we had a 20-foot ring, this could be truly dreadful.
Frazier's agile enough to move away from punches, even in the 16-foot ring, because, again, he doesn't give you anything to punch off.
Left hook stunned Frazier. Little right hand tap knocks him down. And hello, Chris Green is not written on the bottom of Frazier's shoes. And that's the end. Armando Garcia decides that that's a good moment for stopping the fight.
Well, this is an early stoppage state, as we saw in our last doubleheader here a few weeks ago. In those circumstances, we questioned whether the fight should have been stopped. In this circumstance, I have to applaud the referee because it only could have gotten uglier.
And uglier, and uglier.
What about the stoppage, Harold?
Jim, you know something? If you're in a down position, you're in a down position. Rick Frazier's whole body was off that canvas. The only thing that was on the canvas when Armando Garcia got to 9 was the soles of his shoes. He's not in a down position. Armando Garcia should have cleaned the gloves off, and if he was going to let it go, but not count to 10. You don't count 10 with a guy in an up position. You count 10 when a guy's in a down position. When something is touching the canvas other than the soles of his shoes.
I'm not sure the 10 count had anything to do with the stoppage of the fight. I think he was just sort of
Stop the fight. That's the way I see it.
filling out the count. Yeah.
Yes, but he counted him out.
Now, we don't, let's see. I think he let him get up and then he stopped the fight.
That's just a technicality, Harold. This was a fight between a great fighter and an ordinary fighter to put their best face on it. And the referee did all of us
A second round technical knockout over Frazier. And we go up to Mark Vero for the official particulars on Roy Jones's 30th birthday present.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes, 59 seconds of the second round. The winner by technical knockout, and still the WBC and WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
The height, 1.80 meters to 1.90. Weight, 78.7 kilograms to 79.2. Reach, 188 centimeters to 198. Fall 4 inches taller, 2 inches longer in the reach. Rules, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, but fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. In the case of an accidental foul, we go to the scores after the 4th round. Little stare down going on right above us.
Well, you go up in the ring. Up to Michael Buffer, the ring announcer.
Little madness in the ring right now. Buffer's like surrounded. Referee Wayne Kelly's got to get in there and separate him. This is getting ugly.
We're going to have a pre-fight fight.
And Jones had his trunks around, his coveralls up by his ankles, so he really couldn't move.
A lot of people in that ring. Too many.
All 6'3", Jones 5'11".
Well, it's Michael Buffer's trying. Here he is.
With Square Ring, Caesars, Indiana, the Jordan Brand and Pacers Sports and Entertainment present 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. sanctioned by the Indiana Boxing Commission. The 3 judges assigned to ringside scoring this bout on the 10-point must system will be Dave Harris, Gary Merritt, and Alejandro Rochin. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Wayne Kelly. And now for the largest crowd ever to attend boxing in Indiana and the millions watching around the world on HBO World Championship Boxing, ladies and gentlemen, from Conseco Fieldhouse, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trimmed with white, and weighing in at 174.5 pounds. He brings an excellent professional record to the ring tonight, consisting of 25 bouts, 24 victories, including 23 knockouts, with only 1 loss. Ladies and gentlemen, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, here is the #1 ranked WBA light heavyweight challenger in the world, Richard the Destroyer Hall. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing silver and black, and weighing in at 173.5 pounds. In 1988, while deserving Olympic gold, he captured the silver medal. Since then, as a professional, his record stands at 41 victories, including 33 knockouts with only 1 loss, and that avenged, while garnering 4 world titles and being universally recognized as pound for pound, the best in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, from Pensacola, Florida, presenting the 4-time world champion, the reigning and defending undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Richard, Roy, we're boxing for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Shake hands, come out boxing at the bell. Good luck, 12 rounds.
This should be fun. Oh, man.
I hope referee Wayne Kelly is on his toes. Round 1.
Paul is a southpaw, 4 inches height, 4 inches reach advantage.
Roy Jones will switch to southpaw.
Paul, 23 knockouts and 24 victories, 1 loss, KO'd by Rocky Gannon in the 10th round back in '96.
Richard Hall, black trunks. Roy Jones Jr. getting a tremendous ovation here tonight in the silver grayish trunks, black stripe.
Paul trying to use that right jab as a rangefinder. Roy can fly in there. He hasn't been able to hit him with that jab left.
Now take note, the Destroyer is much taller and has the reach, but he's up against probably the most talented fighter in recent times.
Big step up for him in competition.
Former middleweight champ, super middleweight champ.
Oh, and he hurt him with the right hand.
2 right hands. They say Roy Jones, you never know how he's going to show up, but he seems to be all business there in the first round.
I think Roy found his range already. Oh, what an uppercut by Roy Jones.
He's going to toy a bit with Richard Hall, I think.
Oh, looks like he's slowing down already. He's wobbly a little. Roy's not going for the kill yet.
Yeah, he was rocked from that.
There he comes. Oh, right hand by Roy Jones. Another right hand. The crowd's going
He's down.
A left hook drops him. He never saw it coming. They're up to 6 on the count. Roy Jones in a high step move like Derek Gainer did earlier tonight.
Well, you may be right, but he's going to finish it early. He's been known to carry fighters.
Hey, I want to fight a WBA #1 contender.
Very good point. I was just thinking myself, this guy is #1.
I could be a champion. Big right hand. Oh, he's down for the right hand. Roy Jones Jr.
Down twice.
And look at him. Look at him. He is upset. 24 seconds to go in round #1. Roy Jones has that mean look. Roy Jones is a nice guy outside the ring. He's a mean guy inside. 13 seconds to go.
Indeed, he wants to finish it, but he's running out of time here in round 1. Or maybe not.
And he saves by the bell.
Richard Hall down twice. Looking very shaky.
With a right hand. All right? Don't pause out. He's throwing the right hand at you now. Stay down low. Come on. I told you you're going to have to take some big shots on him. He's just strong early now. Do basic stuff. Circle him. Don't stay in front of him. Use your jab. Now you got to move your head quick. All right?
We're going to take a look at those knockdowns.
Here comes the first knockdown. Straight right hand by Roy Jones. He's out of position as he spins. Boom, left hook. I mean, you can't teach that. Then a little high step showboat by Roy Jones Jr. Second knockdown. Roy setting him up with the right hand. Catches him, wobbles him. Looked like it might have been a short left inside. There's the left hook. Spun completely around him. Didn't know where Roy was on the first knockdown. I thought it might go 2. Let's see what happens.
Round 2, scheduled for 12, but it may never get that far. But then who knows? Roy Jones could suddenly want to go a couple of rounds.
I think Roy Jones knocks this guy out early, makes the WBA have to answer a lot of questions. Why was this guy rated #1 based on beating absolutely nobody?
Well, you know, the word is on Hall that he's got a questionable chin, questionable stamina, and a questionable defense.
Oh, that's how you get to be #1. Oh, nice short right hand inside by Roy Jones. And another right hand by Roy Jones.
Roy is...
Watch for the left hook by Roy Jones.
Unloading some heavy artillery.
Big left hook staggered him. Wayne Kelly is close on this one. Roy Jones trying to get in position and land the leverage with the punch.
What a versatile fighter.
Did you say that Hall was slow also? Oh, right hand by Roy Jones.
Roy's in a corner. There's an opportunity possibly for Hall.
No. Oh, straight from the shoulder right hand by Jones. And a left hook. Missed the uppercut. That's it. Mouthpiece came out, I think.
Hey, hit him with a solid right.
Something went flying. Jones a little sloppy.
Yeah, Jones does get a little careless.
I think he just got carried away.
Well, Richard Hall standing. Looks a little wobbly, but he has very long legs.
Get the feeling Roy can end this anytime he wants to. Anytime he decides to do it, it's over.
That's what I mean. He may let this round go by. He wants to show the crowd that he can end it anytime he wants to.
He's chopping Hall down. I think Hall's name should be Mismatched. That should be his nickname.
Hall's playing with him a little bit here now. Wants to give the fans at least a couple of rounds.
Less than 30 to go in round #2. Roy in the corner, but he can throw a nice right hand from there.
Hall firing away, trying to take advantage.
Fast hands by Roy Jones.
Right hand. 10 seconds remaining in round 2.
Get that jab working boxing.
You see Roy Jones, so quick. Left hand, right hand. Hall's taking a good shot now, but he's just slowing down because Roy Jones is wearing him down. Good arsenal from Roy Jones. He can gamble and throw lucrative punches if Hall's not going to respond.
Round 3 scheduled for 12.
Hall's corner wants him to move left to right. I don't know if he has the legs to do that.
Let's see if Roy coasts a little bit here in round 3.
You see Jones has turned southpaw, so he doesn't care too much about Hall.
Let me ask you this question, Tony. He's talking about going up to the heavyweights and fighting somebody like Lennox Lewis, who's 6'5" and 240 pounds. What kind of a chance would he have?
Well, the scary thing is he didn't want to fight James Buster Douglas, who's 6'5". Now he wants to fight Lewis as Jones comes on and does damage from the southpaw stance.
Oh, he was offered a tremendous amount of money to fight Lewis, or Buster Douglas.
So I don't know. It could be talk because his contract with HBO was winding down after this fight. He has one more pay-per-view fight that he owes them. So who knows? Could be just contractual leverage.
As there's really no one left for him to fight.
Big overhand left from the southpaw Roy Jones. Last time I saw him turn southpaw was against Antoine Berg, which he really did some damage way back when. As another manufactured #1 contender.
Jones has been quoted as saying, "I don't miss going out there and putting my life on the line." And he has said a lot of negative things about boxing, but then all of a sudden he can be very enthusiastic.
He's the best fighter in the world. I guess you want to give Richard Hall some slack, but Richard Hall ain't that good. He shouldn't be in the top 10, let alone #1. He's he's fighting a buzzsaw.
Richard Hall's corner told him to move from side to side.
That could have been out in the state of Indiana.
But here he is standing right in front of
They're asking to be hit by a right hand.
Quick right by Jones. Hall trying to jab.
He's just too slow. That's a backhand slap right there.
Roy is kind of coasting through this round.
Yeah.
Got everybody excited in the first round, knocking Hall down twice.
They would have been happy with a first round knockout.
Slipped in a right to Hall's jaw. Final seconds of round 3. Body shot from Jones at the bell.
Strategy already. This turf ain't coming in. Let me work. Let's see if you can. Try to shoot this guy with some combination. Don't worry about the big shot. Don't worry about the big shot.
On my head, shoot.
Just touch him and load up on him.
All over my head.
Then 1 or 2 big shots. He's getting out the way. He's waiting for him. Just touch him a little bit. Touch him.
All right, Richard. Start going up underneath there with the hard body shot. With speed now. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2. All right, not power, more speed now. You're doing okay. As long as the fight goes, we're all right. But don't let him get his feet set. All right? And move that head. Roll up under there sometime. Speed.
Jones likes to work the body. There's a right hand. Maybe he's trying to do something spectacular. Took Virgil Hill out with a left hook to the ribs. There he tried a right to the ribs.
Round 4. Jones put Hall down twice in the first round. He's coasted through the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, you have that feeling that he'll end it when he wants to end it.
Yeah.
And they were telling Hall in his corner, don't let Jones get his feet set. I don't think that's a problem.
the feeling that Roy's trying to do some kind of spectacular knockout that we haven't seen before.
He is an amazing athlete.
Just wish there was more competition for him.
His athleticism reminds me very much of Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
He was a great athlete. Every once in a while you see a fighter who comes along who could probably play other sports. And Roy has played basketball.
Yep.
And if you notice in his corner, he really doesn't pay attention to what anybody's telling him.
Now
he's got it in hand.
The only fight left for him would be Darius Michael-Shesky in Germany, and I know he wants $10 million to go to Germany to fight him. Maybe the Lennox Lewis talk is a way of getting Michael-Shesky people up the ante. I think they offered him $4 or $5 million. $5 million is what they offered him.
Roy said he's not going to be pressured in any fights. He doesn't care about the money. He'll take a fight if he thinks it's of interest to him. And what you're seeing here in the fourth round is Roy is coasting along on the ropes.
Showing his defense. That shot hurt to the body, that left hook. Hall trying to go back to the body.
Slipped an uppercut in. Hall's got him in the corner.
Nice left hook by Jones. Hands down by Jones, and Hall can't reach him. Look to the right.
Must be interesting to know what's going through Jones's mind in these fights.
Watch a lot of his fights. He's awkward, but you know what he's going to. Seems like I know what he's going to set him up with. Look at him use that right hand right down the middle. He has no real left jab, but he has a good left hook.
Well, he's staying along the ropes in the corner, allowing Hall to land a few scoring punches. There's an exchange.
Two good right hands by Roy.
Final seconds of round 4.
Oh, a big right hand by Roy Jones.
He's staggered. Hall. Round 5. Roy Jones Jr. in the light trunks. Richard Hall in the dark trunks. Jones's only loss was a disqualification against Montel Griffin. Griffin was down and Jones hit him when he was down.
Yep.
And so he was disqualified.
Came back in the rematch and ended it in 1.
We saw a very active first round for Jones, posted through the second, third, and fourth rounds.
Jones throwing right hand leads to the body.
And that has a tendency to irritate a lot of people. The fact that Jones toys with opponents.
Yep. Oh, he's just pounding the body now. You notice Hall's bouncing away.
Very independent thinker. If Jones feels he wants to go to distance with Hall, he'll do it, but I doubt it very much because I think he needs to knock this guy out.
Yeah, you fight a big man. You know, if you go to distance against a big man, especially if you had him down early, how come he couldn't close the show?
Well, then they'll say, oh, he went the distance with Hall. He'll never be able to fight in heavyweights.
Right.
But this is his first time in Indianapolis.
Oh.
And the people love him here. And apparently he wants to dance around for a few rounds and pick his shots.
Oh, he's just teeing off. Now doing the body, now he's going to the head. Showing him angles. Now this is the classic Roy Jones. We don't know what way he's going.
The referee doesn't know which way to move.
Roy's just opening up angles. He's embarrassing the WBA's #1 contender. What can I tell you?
Is this the round?
Oh.
Is this the round? They rocked him with that right
trying to think if Wayne Kelly was the referee when he knocked out Brian Brannon in New York and looked at the ref. I can't remember. But if you tell him to go on, he will.
Now he's over in the corner again. He's going to take a break. Closing seconds. There's a flurry.
Break hands.
And that ends round 5. The typical Roy Jones round.
Keep it like that. Let's have fun. This guy can take a shot. Just keep touching him like that, okay? You might be able to get him out of there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. As long as you can touch him, Roy. As long as you can touch him, don't get touched. That's all I'm concerned about. Hit him with some clean shots. He'll weather the house.
When you come in, make sure your legs are bent. Come on, now get that rhythm on it. Give him a rhythm. Come on, give him a rhythm. Come on now. Get that rhythm on there. Come on. Come on. We're in the 6th round.
A.C. Jones with the left. Brings the right over, starts to go into a little dance routine. A lot of angles, a lot of punches with power.
That one rocked him.
Looked at the referee, said, okay, I'll continue.
Round 6.
It's on a little bit of a show.
Roy Jones won a silver medal in boxing in the Olympics and was named the outstanding boxer in the Olympics with a silver medal.
Because he got robbed with the gold medal.
That's right.
Bout.
Roy Jones doing his thing.
Best fighter on the planet. Last couple, and he looks like he got cut.
He hurt him. He's holding his eye. This may be it.
Jones pounding away a little while.
He might have stuck his thumb in
might have
Hall's eye because he was rubbing his eye.
I don't see any blood.
And you got to give Hall a little credit here because he's taking a pounding. After being knocked down twice in the 1st round, he's still here in the 6th round.
Might be better to end this and put him away.
Courtesy of Roy Jones.
Yeah.
Richard Hall trying to be game. Dancing on his toes a little bit. Right hand from the champion. Undisputed champion. Look at that left hand. He whipped that. Right hand.
Chopping right.
Hall's taking some shots. Left hand.
It's getting a little wobbly though. Roy's hands down. Not even, look at it. Hall can't even catch him.
Richard Hall showing some intestinal fortitude here in the 6th round.
Jones takes part of the round off and Hall can't capitalize.
Well, rather Jones counters with a right to the midsection. Jones kind of lulls you into feeling secure, and here he comes with right hands. Again with right hands, doubles the right.
You see him wind up.
Closing seconds of the 6th round. Round 7 for Roy Jones Jr.'s undisputed light heavyweight title.
Nice to hear that, undisputed. He only won.
The first light heavyweight since 1985. Hall in a corner.
I may be hard on Richard Hall, but I'm really being hard on the WBA because he's not showing me any skills whatsoever. I know he's been dropped a couple of times, but who did he beat to become the #1 contender? Believe it or not, he's a WBA interim light heavyweight champion because Roy was unified the title. He was plugging a hole until he got to the WBA version, I guess.
Now they're getting a few smattering of boos. I guess maybe the fans wanted to see Roy go some rounds, but now they'd like to see it end.
Right to the belly. No, they've seen enough. They know it's no competition.
Roy walked into a right hand.
I don't think he felt it. Turn southpaw.
He switches. But when you're that talented, I guess you could lead with your feet if you wanted to.
Yep.
Left hand. Every time Roy scores with a punch, the crowd goes, oh!
He's chopping him down now.
Got him in a corner. Hook right. Hall's trying to show a little theatrics of his own. Right hand, staggered him.
Maybe here comes the finish because he went back to orthodox.
No doubt about it. Jones is a rare athlete in this sport.
Might be definitely the best in this era.
It bothers a lot of people that he does all these things you see him doing. It seems he can fight from any angle with whatever he feels like employing.
He does things wrong like Muhammad Ali did things wrong.
Final seconds of round 7. Well, you notice Roy does not let fighters hit him either.
No, not at all.
And Ali did.
You can't do nothing no better. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're hitting him with everything except the head. What round we in? Hey. Okay, we going 8, baby. 1-8. Feel good? Gas good?
Breathe easy. Relax. You're all right. Richard, all you got to do is punch at this motherfucker. You done took his best shit. You got to counter. Lead off. You're not punching. Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
Come on now. You got to punch. The best defense in the world's offense. You're going to get hit. Get hit hitting this motherfucker.
Roy Jones fighting southpaw. Brings the right hand and the left. 1-2. Wonder about Richard Hall's credentials. Last 5 fights: Fabian Garcia, Anthony DeGeni, Gary Ballard, Carl Willis, Joseph Harris.
And here we are in the 8th round. Again, the question is always asked, what is Roy going to do in a particular fight? Is he going to go the route? He's going to take the opposition to the fullest, or is he going to end it? Hall was down twice in the first round. It looked like it was bye-bye.
I got it. A clean sweep by Roy Jones, 70-61. I think Roy's going to try and put him away before the 12th round because it could be a chink in his armor for his critics to say, well, you're so great, you couldn't put down this manufactured light heavyweight. Maybe you can't fight the big guys. You couldn't knock out Telesco even though he had a bad wrist in the last fight.
What is interesting, though, Tony, is that he put Hall down rather easily in the first round, and yet, through these rounds, he's hitting with some tough shots. He's rocked him with some tough shots, but Hall hasn't gone down.
And that right hand by Jones, I think he planted his feet a little more firmly in that first round. The adrenaline was going. Now it's just, he's toying with the guy because I don't think he has any respect for him. They should knock him out and just get it over with.
We posed the question at the beginning of the fight that Hall had a questionable chin and questionable stamina. Suddenly that chin seems to be holding up fairly well, and the stamina is not bad.
I still think Jones is going to knock him out. It's just, I think he's trying to knock him out to the body. He knows he can knock him out to the head.
Well, he's a tall, lanky fighter, and they seem to be more susceptible to body shots. Round 8.
He wouldn't be this effective against Lennox Lewis, because Lennox Lewis at least be throwing a jab out there.
Ring Magazine recently polled a lot of boxing experts on how Roy Jones would do against a number of different heavyweights, and I believe every one of them put Jones down. Right hand.
There's two types of heavyweights today. There's a small heavyweight like a Chris Bird. Hall looks a little wobbly. There's the giants. Jones trying to go for the finish.
Richard Hall's taking some shots to the head. He's been rocked.
I just saw his promoter, Murad Muhammad, stand up and point, put him down.
I heard that. He's gotten the word to finish it in the 9th round. Let's see if he can do it.
Richard Hall's face looks a mess.
You mentioned a few minutes ago the importance of going to Hall's body, and I agree. I mean, he's whacking him in the head. And I think he might go faster if he whacks him in the midsection. Here's Hall with a flurry. And a counter.
Big combination by Roy. I think he's going for it here.
Hall trying to fight back. He took some combos to the head.
He's trying to muscle Roy. Roy's good at throwing an uppercut at this angle.
I was just thinking, the tape on those gloves and the way Hall was throwing those punches sideways, that tape could open up a mean cut.
Yeah. Even the crowd chanting Roy now. They want to go home.
Crowd is putting pressure on Jones.
Jones from southpaw. I think if he's going to take him out now, it's going to go to the head because he's been to the body enough to soften him up.
Minute 30, halfway through round 9. Conseco Fieldhouse here in Indianapolis, Indiana, sporting a nice crowd tonight as Major Boxing comes back to the city for the first time in a long time. Roy got away with a little headbutt there.
A little something. A minute to go here in round number 9.
Right hand, left, right. Hall has become a punching bag, but he hasn't gone down since the first round.
Roy continues to reach him with that right hand.
Oh, all right. And Hall says, hey, that didn't hurt me.
And Roy's going to wait for him to get out of position if he keeps playing around like that.
He's giving it back to Jones, and he walked right into it right to the midsection. Oh, a left to the head. A left from Hall at the bell.
That's what the people wanted to see.
We got 3 rounds left. Let's just box this turkey. Now, come here, boy. Now punch now. Come on.
Breathe easy.
Breathe easy, brother. Keep your hands up. You've got to gamble now. We're going down that stretch. Remember we talked about this? Come on. You've got to go. Am I getting out close? I'm going to get out close. Let him go. Let him go, baby. Let your hands go. Feel like a champ? Oh, yeah. You're looking like one, baby. You're looking like one. Just keep up the good work. We got 3 more. We got 9 minutes. Let's have some fun. Be careful. You got all the rounds wrong. Let's go.
Round 10. Tony, what would happen if Hall put Jones down?
I think it'd be silence. Because you see something you've never seen before. The only time Jones was down, Louis Del Valle put him down in New York. Kind of like a slip because the canvas was wet, but it counted as a knockdown. But it'd be one of the biggest upset stories of this year. Not even if he won, just put him down.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. That becomes the lead story.
He does get careless, but his athleticism is incredible.
Hall's corner said you got to gamble.
I think Richard Hall is starting to sense that here I am in the 10th round. I could go the distance against the undisputed champion.
He had feather in his cap, but Telesco did it. David Telesco in his last fight. Hall just kind of lunging and trying to hold on.
Jones really doesn't care, though, whether he goes the distance or he doesn't go the distance.
It depends on how much respect the fighter shows him. I don't know if Hall showed him that much. Maybe he'll say in the post-fight interview, I wanted to punish him. You know, Ali used to say stuff like that.
Hall's going to need some bed rest after this fight.
I think he'll be free falling out of the top center real quick. Roy's got him wobbly again.
He has taken some heavy hits to the head.
This is like the combination of maybe 2 fights worth of damage.
And that can be scary.
Yeah, yeah.
Roy in the corner.
That's why I like to see Roy. You know, it would have been nice to stop it in 1 round and spare the guy the punishment.
Body shots. Jabs. Right hand. Take your pick. He does them all. Left, right.
The way he's wobbling back after he gets hit. He's not firing back.
30 seconds remaining around 10.
Starting to remind me of George Savallo, the old Canadian heavyweight that everybody used to beat up on back in the 60s.
And he has some severe brain damage. Final seconds, round 10. Here comes Roy.
Big combination.
Round 11. Roy Jones Jr., undisputed light heavyweight champion in the light trunks. And the #1 rated challenger from the WBA, Richard Hall, in the dark trunks. A right and a left.
This is getting brutal to watch because I got Roy ahead 100-88. Complete shutout.
But you know, in boxing, if Hall goes the distance,
the feather in his cap.
No matter whether he takes a beating, he can say, I went the distance with
the greatest fighter in the world. Yep.
And I got robbed.
Yeah, of course. 10 years from now,
I got robbed.
I beat him and they stole it from me.
I really got robbed in Indianapolis. Highway robbery.
We talked a lot about Ali tonight. It's like when Ali fought Tough Wepner in Cleveland. Wepner wanted to go to distance. Oh, big punches. Roy Jones turning southpaw, doing damage again.
This may be it. Here's wobbly.
Wobbly, legs wide.
It's amazing that Hall's still standing, particularly after...
Oh, man, saves of Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. I think he's taken enough. Rain Kelly should think about stopping this.
This may be stopped.
Oh, man.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, that's enough, Wayne, and that's it.
stops it. Fight is stopped right before the bell.
I just saw some compassion in the ring from the corner of Roy Jones Jr. They saw Richard Hall wobbly. They were screaming to get Jones' stool into the ring so Hall could sit down. And he's sitting down right now.
Pistol collar, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Hall has taken a tremendous beating here tonight.
And maybe this is, as we see the end of it, the right hand started it. Roy Jones kept throwing punches, could even time it. Left hook did the damage, kept coming forward. Richard Hall has no response, and Roy's just chopping him down. Roy maneuvers him into the corner, and those shots are just snapping his head back. All Roy Jones. Wayne Kelly was behind Roy Jones, came around him, got in between and stopped it. Good job by Wayne Kelly as you see Roy Jones pouring it on. And maybe this is a message to all these so-called boxing organizations. When you give a man the #1 ranking, he better have some talent to go with it.
And leave the politics out of it.
Amen.
Unfortunately, that'll never happen.
Of course not. And somebody like Richard Hall takes the battle as we wait for Michael Buffer.
Here's Michael Buffer.
The 1 minute, 41 seconds of round number 11. The winner by TKO victory and still the reigning and defending undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones Jr. is now 16-1 in world title defenses. Undisputed light heavyweight champion, a fine athlete who literally toys with his opposition. Larry Merchant is up in the ring.
We just heard from the CompuBox guys that Roy Jones Jr. landed 32 of 38 power punches in that last round.
Amazing. He is some athlete. And he pleased the crowd here in Indianapolis, making his first appearance here. I have to believe he'll be back.
I think so. You know, he's scary because of his talent and because of what he can do to his opponent. You know, like I said, I wish he'd got him out of there earlier.
Larry Merchant is up in the ring, evidently going to. He may interview the referee.
Jim, Wayne, Richard Hall took a savage, brutal beating. Why didn't you stop the fight earlier?
Well, Larry, he was in the fight. He was a very resilient fighter. He was coming back strong, and a few times he had Roy up against the ropes. He was clearly losing the fight, and that's why I did stop it when I did.
We're watching some action earlier as he's taking punishment, but certainly he had no chance to win the fight. He had not shown he could hurt Roy Jones. What was the point of letting it go on for that long?
The point was, as I indicated earlier, he was in the fight by throwing punches back. If you wait a few more seconds, you'll see he'll come back with some punches. Not in this round, but another one. And very resilient. When I did stop the fight, he actually objected. His cornermen didn't, but he did. He was willing to continue, and he asked me, why'd you stop the fight? I'm ready to continue.
Would you have been surprised in a fight of this nature if his corner had stopped the fight earlier?
No, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Thank you very much, Wayne.
Thank you, Larry.
Well, it's easy to second guess a referee.
I thought he did a fine job.
And the corner can always throw the towel in.
True. I mean, it doesn't have to be accepted, but that'll tell you that they're giving it up. And look, if I hit you and you wobble and you come back, where do you stop it? In mid-wobble? I mean, a lot of guys get wobbled. Wait to hear from Roy Jones Jr.
Larry Merchant is still up there, and he has the champ.
Spectacular performance. Let's go to the first round where you obviously stunned Hall. Did you think that he was going to be easy at that point?
No, I never thought he was going to be easy. I knew he was a good fighter. I expect to be a tough fighter because he's such a strong puncher.
Did you go in with the idea that you wanted him to know what he was up against right now?
That's right. I want to let him know that he and I with the champ. He's in there with the man, and he better respect that. First of all, it takes the opportunity to thank God for giving me the opportunity to do all the things I do. I'm so glad it's trying to be a terrific performance. People in Indianapolis are great. I enjoyed myself, had a beautiful time. This was a superb evening. I just really thank God again for giving me the opportunity.
Let's do it! Introducing the principals. First, in the blue corner, wearing green trunks, weighing in at 151.5 pounds, with a professional record, 23 wins, 12 defeats, 1 draw. He's delivered 14 knockouts from Atlanta, Georgia, Ricky the Hammer Stackhouse. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing gold and black trunks, weighing in 154 pounds, with a professional record of 11 wins, 0 defeats. He's dropped all opponents by knockout. Hails from right here in Pensacola, Florida. A silver medalist in the 1988 Olympics. Let's hear it for Roy Jones Jr.
Someone calling Brad? Instructions in the dressing room. Have any questions? Protect yourselves at all times. Remember that. Good luck to both of you.
Anyway, guys, looks like Stackhouse's eye is swollen. He hasn't even started the fight. There are the judges all out of Pensacola. Stackhouse saying before, and quite wisely, that he does not want to go to decision in this fight. Ricky Stackhouse, at the age of 32, did not start boxing until he was 21 years of age. And he wants to put the pressure on Jones quickly. Roy Jones, very much an entertainer in the ring. Some of his idols, Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. And Jones says that he spends as much time in putting together some of his Stackhouse down with a straight right early in the first round. Stackhouse down.
And now this is how a fighter gets hurt. Look how dry Ricky Stackhouse is. He has not even broken a sweat coming into this opening round. And with a young tiger of fast started like Roy Jones is, this is over.
Jones goes to 12-0 with his 12th knockout. Ricky Stackhouse, we haven't even had the time to get into his story, is actually under medical suspension in New York because he had lost a fight there back in September of '89, which was his 6th straight loss, which is an automatic suspension. But even beyond that, Stackhouse, who earlier in his career demonstrated great heart in the ring, but Commissioner of New York, Randy Gordon, who had seen Stackhouse earlier, just knew he wasn't the same type of fighter. And the doctor's observations from their experience felt that there was a preliminary signs of deterioration and had suspended Stackhouse medically. He had passed the test. He had passed all the tests here in Florida, but the signs had been seen in that fight when Stackhouse was being buckled and staggered by jabs. And here, in the first round, Roy Jones, I think it even surprised him. It was a quick, sharp shot, but a shot that should have been survived.
And Joe Jones is notoriously a fast starter. What you have to do when somebody fights Roy Jones is they have to be ready in that first round because Jones is going to come right after you. That's just what he did. He starts early and he likes to finish it early. good combinations. Jones has recently been working more on his power to try to make that transition comfortable into the pros. He's fearful that so many of those professionals will walk right over him if he doesn't have the power.
Well, Stackhouse, after those losses, has put together 4 straight victories, but he comes in and is out quickly here in Pensacola against Roy Jones, who hardly had to work up a sweat in this one. He is ranked number 5 by the IBF as a junior middleweight, but looks to campaign as a middleweight.
In the red corner, delivering a knockout, 46 seconds in the first round. Let's hear it for the winner, Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones, and in 46 seconds he clocked Ricky Stackhouse and took him out. It was a straight right hand. Did you think it would have that kind of damage to knock a guy down?
Well, I'm pretty fast, and most of my punches have a lot of speed on them, and it's the shocking effect of them. That's what puts people on their back. And after I hit him with the shot, I knew it was a good shot, and I kind of figured he should go down because he was still cold when he came out of the dressing room.
With an opponent like this, did you expect this fight to go anywhere?
Did I expect the fight to go on? Yeah, after looking at the tapes, I figured he'd come in and put a lot of pressure on me early. And you yourself told me to watch out for the big lick earlier in today, in an interview today. And I came out looking for the big lick, and he was a little too slow for me. So once I figured out that he was going to be so slow, I said I better attack him before he gets a chance.
But you see him so dry coming into this fight. You knew you had to go right after him. You're so much better than he is.
Wow, we didn't know that. I didn't know that. You didn't know that until just now. But I hadn't seen tapes on him. See, I had a small briefing on him today, and I really didn't know what to expect.
Do fights like this get you bored?
Well, not really, because my job is to get him out of there. I don't care what kind of fight I have, as long as I win the fight, I'm happy.
All right, you come in with a dazzling robe that I'm sure Sean's going to ask you where you got it. Earlier we had talked about the fact that you love to entertain in the ring, and you practice as much entertaining as you do the mechanical aspects. Are there any moves you could show us here on camera?
Show Al. Show him on Al.
How about how fast are those hands? Could you give us something? Show Al.
No, show Al.
We pulled back. Give us a little. Come on. I'd rather see the right hook.
The right hook? Okay.
Something we talked about before the fight coming in. One of the questions is, Roy Jones came out of the Olympics, even though you were robbed of that decision. There's so much sympathy on your side here in the United States that you really became a hot prospect, but you sat out for the first 8 months. This was only your 12th fight. You see some of your other teammates. Carvajal's a champion. Mercer won the WBO crown. Riddick Bowe has faced 20 shots, has fought 20 times. What is the direction of Roy Jones? There may be some people who forgot about you.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Ray Mercer and Michael Carvajal and Charles Murray, Vince, all of my Olympic teammates and all. And I think that they're doing a great job, and they're going along the way with their careers. It seems like they're going at the rate they want to go at, and I feel like I'm going the rate I want to go at, and we're all doing good. And as long as, everybody do different things for different reasons, and I think all of them are doing a superb job in the professional career, in their professional careers, and I think one day I'll be right there with them. It's just that the way I feel like I need to go is just a little different from the way they need to go. At the Olympics, I went a different way from everybody else, as you can see. I got criticized for it, but that was me. And I'm not going to change now just because, people want me to do one thing and I want to do another. I'm going to do what I feel is right for me, not for everybody else.
Do you think, Roy, you'll be criticized for fights like this?
Well, I can't get criticized for fights like this because, like I said, the guy, I know nothing about the guy. They put the guy that told me that he was supposed to be this and he was supposed to be that. So that just made me a lot sharper in terms. That's what happened.
Is there anything you wanted, that you learned in tonight's fight?
Oh, yeah, there's a little bit I learned. For one thing, he did have a lick like you said, but I never let him get a chance to get off. And anytime a man comes out of the locker room that slow, you capitalize on it. So that taught me in terms not to come out of there.
I think, Roy, you worked up a bigger sweat with this interview than you did in the fight.
That's a lie.
Knock her out, Roy. Knock her out.
USA welterweight champion, the former Arizona welterweight champion, and the current California State Junior middleweight champion. He has a record of 19 wins,
Suck it up,
Ditto, baby, ditto. You looking good, Will. You got him where you want him. You looking like a champ, Will. Yeah. Good stuff, Will. Where you get this, Will? Where you get this?
Let's go to the ring now. Set for the introductions.
Gentlemen from Pensacola, Florida, the cradle of naval aviation and the home of the whitest sand beach in the world. This is your main event. Your referee from Hialeah, Florida, Mr. Bill Connors, introducing the principals first. In the blue corner, wearing today the black trunks with the white trim, weighing in at 151.5 pounds, from Chicago, Illinois, with a professional record of 16 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw, 6 wins by knockout. Please welcome Stormin Ron Amundsen. His opponent fighting out of the red corner, wearing the silver trunks with the black trim, weighing in at 155 pounds, from Pensacola, Florida, with a professional record of 2 wins, no defeat, both wins by knockout. Here is Roy Jones Jr.
Referee Bill Connors out of Hialeah, Florida, brings the two boxers together.
Instructions in the back room now. We're going to have a clean fight. Any questions about anything? Touch gloves. Listen to my commands. Good luck to you.
Scoring on the 10-point must system, handled by the 3 judges. There's a mandatory 8, no standing 8 count. 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The bell does not save the fighter in any round. So Roy Jones in his third professional bout going against Ron Amundsen. who was a member of the Church of the Latter-day Saints, thus his nickname Stormin, derived from Stormin Mormon. He does Mormon missionary work in Chicago. In fact, Ron spent 2 years doing his formal Mormon missionary time in Seoul, South Korea. That was back in the early 80s. His one defeat last September, Amundsen lost a 10-round decision. Did not look good against Davey Hilton in Atlantic City. Knocked down on the 7th and nearly went down on the 10th when Hilton broke his jaw.
Hilton could punch. I think he was overmatched too soon. They put him in as just fodder for Hilton, and I think that was a mistake of his manager.
Was just trying to survive in that fight, and he admitted he was mentally intimidated, rather candid for a boxer. He said he was overmatched, should not have gone against Hilton.
He was right. There's nothing like a broken jaw to give you clear vision as to your chances.
Amundsen not noted for hand speed and needs a stationary target. Roy Jones is certainly not that.
Oh, he's anything but a stationary target. He's chosen to open, as Jones, in a very slow fashion. Usually comes storming out. He's just being very patient here.
Roy Jones, usually very difficult to hit because he steps in, throws a quick three-punch combination, and then it's gone before his opponent is able to fire off. We have not seen that to this point.
He's fighting a very slow fight, and he's just keeping a distance between he and Ron Amundsen.
Strong uppercut by Jones, and then immediately lowers the head and goes to the showboat tactics.
Now that's funny. In the previous bout, every time Hobson showboated, they booed him. They cheered this guy showboating. He must be a big favorite around here. Is Roy Jones, Jr.
Jones's moves reminiscent of a man he admires greatly, Sugar Ray Leonard, with that low guard and fast hands approach. Style fluid, but keeps the hands very low.
When he punches, he's got some thunder in his punches.
And Jones scoring with the combination.
Amundsen's face is getting all red, starting to just show signs of lumping up as these punches, infrequent as they are very hard on the part of Roy Jones Jr.
Seconds, round one. And this is round two. Roy Jones in the silver, trim with black, and Ron Amundsen in the black trunks.
Again, the showboating. He grabbed the rope, and he didn't get warned by the referee, Bill Connors. Hobson touched the rope and got reprimanded for it.
You saw the weights on the tail of the tape right before the start of the fight. Jones at 155, Amundsen 151 and a half. Many boxing people at the weigh-in thought the scales were off by as much as 4 pounds. Amundsen, as we said, at 151 and a half, but he said he actually weighs 156. So if that's correct, Jones is closer to 160, and this is a junior middleweight bout.
That calls for some interpolation by the boxing commission. If they all weigh on the same scale, just deduct the 4 and keep on going. What you're seeing here is a very, very big difference in hand speed. When Amundsen tries to come in and punch, just as he gets his punch off, a zinging shot is coming back from Roy Jones.
Amundsen looking to showboat, attempting to throw Jones off. Amundsen is actually club fighter status over his head here against Jones, against the speed and reflexes of Roy Jones.
Remember, this man has had 18 fights against Roy Jones' 3 fights, and that gives you an idea of what statistics mean. Nothing. I understand that here, everyone is convinced that Roy Jones can step in and fight for the title by the end of this year, not next year. And when you see these kind of performances, they fool you because it's not quite equal talent. What happens when he steps into somebody good?
And that is the current field of champions. IBF, Gianfranco Rossi, WBC junior middleweight title holder John Mugabe, and the WBA champion is Julian Jackson of the Virgin Islands.
Well, at this point, I could never see Roy Jones step in with Mugabe. Not at all. And maybe not Julian Jackson. I think Rossi would have a chance with. Thumping body shots.
And Jones doubling up with the left hook. And those body shots are doing damage to Amundsen. Strong finish for Roy Jones in the second round. And this is round 3. Roy Jones and Ron Amundsen. From the hometown of Roy Jones, Pensacola, Florida. We're at the Civic Center. And Jones opening up with solid rounds 1 and 2.
In spite of the tail of the tape, which wasn't that different, to me it looks like he's much bigger. I mean, forget what the tape says. He's bigger than the other guy in everything, in talent, but in size he's bigger. Here's Jones.
Roy Jones, the youngest member of the United States Olympic boxing team. He was awarded the Val Barker Cup as the outstanding boxer of the games. That seemed like an acknowledgement of guilt by the international boxing officials after he had lost to Park Si-hun of Korea, losing the gold in that highly controversial decision.
Oh, those hooks are really doing some damage. Jones' hooks are very, very hard and right on target. It was a beautiful hook, and when you aren't watching, the uppercut does a lot of damage as well.
We are halfway through the third round. This is scheduled for 8.
Showing the mark of a good combination puncher. Just when he fires off 2 or 3, you think he's through. Out comes another couple. And those are the ones that do the damage. Whoa!
And the warning from the referee, Bill Connors.
This has settled down to hard fighting. Very little hot dogging. As Jones has come to work. It looks like he is determined to knock out Amundsen after a very kind of quiet first round.
Now using the jab effectively. Amundsen forced to cover up.
Anytime he comes close, he gets hammered to the body, to the head.
Jones with the left hook, and he is pinching Amundsen here in round 3.
Amundsen throwing some basketball fakes at him, but they don't do any good. This is boxing, and he is getting hammered.
Well, there seems to be satisfaction in the corner of Roy Jones. He is handled by his father, Roy Jones Sr., one-time middleweight who fought in the 60s and the 70s and faced Marvin Hagler in July of 1977, losing to Hagler. A bout that was stopped in the third round.
Jones got hit, did a little posturing, and then returned with 2 or 3 slamming shots. Right now, his punches are way too wide, Roy Jones. He's got to get down to pinpoint punch, and he's gotten sloppy now. Getting used to easy pickings, he is throwing those long arm shots, which will not work when he gets in with top competition.
0 for 8. Does Ron Atkinson take a good shot? Or is it a question of the punching power of Roy Jones perhaps not being as strong as advertised?
The first part is true. He takes a good shot. The second part is you haven't seen Jones's power yet because he hasn't dug in to throw sharp, crisp punches. He's been throwing these arm punches and showboat punches. When he gets down, look at the way he keeps his left hand down. Jones does. When he gets down to digging those toes in and really punching, then he does knock everybody out. Look at that. He left his feet on that punch. You know, you look down in that corner, it was all black and silver. Did it remind you much of the Raiders, wherever they're going to end up?
No. Shot by Roy Jones.
Over and over again, that demonstration. You cannot substitute for reflexes and hand speed.
And a very sharp combination by Jones. Amundsen, on the other hand, is strictly an arm puncher with no power.
And slow. The deadly news is he's slow. Amundsen just took a big, deep breath. His arms alow, indicating nice weariness.
10 seconds left in round 4.
Look at that lunging thing. It looks like an aircraft leaving an aircraft carrier. He almost went into flight with that punch. It didn't land, and if it had, it wouldn't have done any damage.
After, we don't want to, but it's after resort. After resort, when your elbows up in between you and him. Or after resort, putting an elbow up between you and him when y'all come make contact.
And that is Roy Jones Sr. talking to his son. Amundsen, very quiet, soft-spoken. When he came to Pensacola last month to promote this fight, the local promoters wanted him to make negative remarks about Roy Jones to help encourage ticket sales, but they were disappointed because all Amundsen would say is that Roy Jones is a fine fighter, a wonderful human being, and he promised to pray for Roy.
The religious background, he seems to subdivide it very well. Inside the ring, he blocks that out. Outside the ring, he's a very religious and sensitive man.
A man who did Mormon missionary work in Chicago and spent 2 years in Seoul, South Korea during his formal missionary time. Ron Atkinson out of Chicago, where he was a 4-time Golden Gloves champion.
Well, right now we're getting about to that point in the fight, in an 8-round fight, where you can say he just about hasn't got a prayer. I mean, because he is being dominated here. I think there's no question that Roy Jones's next fight will be a 10-round fight as he... Ooh, what a combination by Jones.
And follows it up effectively, but Amundsen remains standing. We've had no knockdowns. But Jones now pouring it on as we hit the halfway mark of round 5.
Jones getting serious about this knockout thing. There's no steam in Amundsen's punches.
A right hand that just grazed Amundsen. And Amundsen getting to the body of Jones.
Absolute frustration on the face of the more experienced fighter, Amundsen, who thought he could keep the pressure on and neutralize Roy Jones. Roy Jones has taken his pressure and turned it back on him.
Amundsen was nailed by a hard left hook by Davey Hilton last September. Hilton broke his jaw, and Amundsen Amundsen is getting nailed continuously here in the 5th round.
Uh-oh. That's the first sign of hot dogging, sticking your tongue out.
Final seconds of the 5th. On to round 6. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Freddie Pacheco. Roy Jones coming off a very powerful 5th round. What does the fight doctor scorecard tell us?
I have a total shutout. 50 to 45 in points, quite unofficially, but I don't think anybody in his right mind can give one round to Ron Edmondson, who has been taking a boxing lesson and a shellacking. When if you send those trucks that Jones has to the cleaners, you re-chrome them after every fight. Ooh, first 2 decent shots that Amundsen has landed in rounds and rounds.
At this point with Ron Amundsen.
What a display of speed and punching ability. You get the feeling that if he just dug down and started to really punch hard for a knockout, he'd get it. But Amundsen displaying an admirable grit and ability to take this kind of punishment of I guess you get that, what you call a missionary zeal. You can take just about anything if you want to. He's very, very determined.
We approach 1 minute remaining in the 6th round.
You think that Jones's lack of clowning basically is a sign of his maturity coming to pass, or has he just been so busy he didn't think about it? What do you think?
Well, I was surprised that he came out as he did in round 1. He usually comes out in hot dog fashion, and he looked like he was ready to do business, and then where he got his confidence, he did begin the clowning, and yeah, perhaps that is the reason that he's taking it a bit more seriously. In his first professional bout here in Pensacola, had an easy time with 31-year-old Ricky Randall. There was too much hot dogging on the part of Jones.
Well, he's certainly serious this time. It's been precious little of the showboating that we saw before. Boy, that was a hard right hand. And that did have knockout on it.
We'll be back after these messages. Back at the Civic Center in Pensacola, Florida. Roy Jones having his way an easy time against Ron Edmondson, although there has not been a knockdown, although it has been purely Jones from the start.
He has pitched a total shutout here. And when you look at the display he's putting on, and you look at the Olympians of the 88 Olympians, you have to compare him to Andrew Maynard, who certainly has about that much quality and strength, and also Michael Carvajal. I don't think Roy Mercer belongs in that group. He's very hard punching, but he's not a boxer. He's a slugger.
Do you feel Roy Jones has the most talent out of that group?
I think he's right in there tied with Carvajal and with Andrew Maynard. Michael Carvajal is a fine little fighter.
Jones is currently attending Pensacola Junior College and will enroll at the University of West Florida next year. He did take some time away from college to train for the Olympic trials and then the Olympic Games in Seoul.
A little time to repair. The glove has a little bit of tape. That's about the only mercy he's going to have.
And the repairs by Georgie Navarro in the corner of Ron Edmondson. Navarro, a featherweight contender, stopped by Jeff Fennick in a title fight last year.
Fennick's case was rare in that he broke many bones in his hand, retired, and then setting the record for below the fighter retirement. He's back. He's out. As soon as his hands healed, he said, "I'm back."
Ooh, left hand by Jones to the chin of Amundsen. With 1 minute remaining in the 7th round, the pounding continues.
Amundsen is tough. His head snapped back. You would think that he would show damage, but he's still there and there fighting.
Earlier here on Sport, quick left hand by Jones, and Amundsen goes down. You see the time remaining in the 7th round. Hey, are you sure you're in? Referee Bill Connor is saying, "Are you all right?" And then, "Are you sure you're all right?" And Connors has called it. It is all over. Roy Jones has stopped Ron Amundsen in round 7 of a scheduled 8-round bout. This a one-way affair from the opening bell. I can't recall many effective blows thrown by Amundsen.
I can, and I'm kind of amazed that he took as much as he did before he finally went down, because his head was snapping back. That's usually the sign that you have no more control, and down you go. And he did.
So Roy Jones makes it 3 for 3 as a professional. Record of 3-0, all 3 by knockout. And you can place the name Ron Amundsen alongside Ricky Randall and
Knock him out, Roy. Knock.
Test is set for 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Referee Randy Newman. Introducing first in the blue corner to my left, he hails from Brooklyn, New York. He weighs in at 152 1/2 pounds, wearing black trunks, a professional record of 9-2, 5 big knockouts. Please welcome Stephen Johnson. His opponent in the red corner from Pensacola, Florida. He is wearing white trunks with a multicolored trim. Weighs in at 155 pounds even. The 1988 Olympic silver medalist in the light middleweight division. Voted the most outstanding boxer in the 1988 Olympics. Undefeated as a pro. Please welcome Roy Jones Jr. Referee Randy Newman.
And Roy Jones accompanied to the center of the ring by his dad, Roy Jones Sr.
Number one defending himself at all times. Let's shake hands and come out of the
Junior middleweight champions in the IBF division. Darren Van Horn, WBC champ out of France, Rene Jacot, and the WBA title holder is Julian Jackson from the Virgin Islands. Roy Jones has a stepped-up itinerary. He feels he wants to be fighting for a title by his 8th pro bout.
That's overly ambitious, I think. I think you should really learn, because even if you accomplish it, then you step into trouble. You haven't learned your craft, and you're in against real champions. Did not work very well for Leon Spinks. Did not work very well for Davey Moore, and I don't think it works very well for anyone.
Stephon Johnson in only his 12th professional bout. He has improved his defensive boxing. He's been showing more side-to-side and head movement in recent fights, and has been keeping the lead hand up in his earlier fights. He was dropping it, continually getting nailed by big right hands, as both Jones and Johnson open out in a feeling-out process here in round 1.
This is exactly what Johnson said he wanted to do. He just wants to box, and willing to just about give away the first 3 rounds just to see what happens after that.
But Jones now right on target as he chases Johnson.
What Jones has, as we saw through all of the Olympic events, is an extremely fast reflexes. He just has a sense of where to throw punches. And even though his distance is not proper right now, he still lands some punches that shouldn't land by all rights. I don't think you can look for Stephen Johnson to do anything dramatic the first round or two, because he just wants to get this guy settled down. Let him get a little adrenaline pumping and get tired a little bit.
Just past the halfway mark of this first round, scheduled for 8. What about an 8-round fight? Second time out of the box for Roy Jones.
Another mistake, I feel, unless you knock the guy out. That's a long way to go. The second time that you step in a professional ring, especially against a guy who is learning his craft every day, sparring with a wonderful champion like Simon Brown. I mean, Simon can teach you a few things if you box with him every day.
Yes, Stephon Johnson turned pro back in July of '87. And over the past year, he has been sparring with the IBF welterweight champion, Simon Brown.
So far, the good part, as far as Jones is concerned, is he's landing more punches, as few as are thrown. But the main thing is he is not excited and going crazy. We saw his opening debut in Pensacola, and it looked like the beginning of the 4th round from the Olympics. He was very wild.
And we are final seconds, first round. So they finished with a flurry. We'll be back in a moment.
Right. You know what you got to do. Here you go, man. In the back of his.
Roy Jones was just told by his dad, don't fight for the crowd. You're the best, you know what to do, but don't try to impress the crowd.
See, people listen to this fight, Doctors RX. They read this stuff.
I saw them hunched around the monitor right before the start of the bout. This is round 2. Stephan Johnson in the black trunks and Roy Jones in the white.
And if you followed what I was saying right at the end of that round, just as I was saying that he didn't go crazy, he went crazy at the very last 10 or 15 seconds, but that was all right. It was at the end of the round where he doesn't have a chance to get tired, and he picks up the round. He won the round handily, I thought. So it's Stephan doing what he wants, and Jones picking up that first round. One of the things that has to be commented on is the difference in body size here. Looking at Jones, he looks like a full middleweight. I mean, absolutely full middleweight. The other guy looks like a blown welterweight. He is not that big.
And this is listed as a junior middleweight bout. First part of our NBC boxing doubleheader coming up later on Sports World. Vinny Pazienza, the one-time IBF lightweight champion, going against South Philly's Vinny Verghese, along with Sports Fantasy with Len Berman. That'll be Sports World following ringside.
Jones tuning up with his hard jab, throwing hooks off that jab. Nice right-hand lead.
Good combination by Jones.
The other good thing about Jones is when he throws a punch, he means it. Those jabs are hard. The cross right-hand lead just then was hard. There it is again. And again. Oh, they just hit heads very hard. No resulting cut, however. Little bit of apprehension on the face of Stephan Johnson. Now, he's felt the sting, and he knows that he's in with a guy that can bang.
And we approach the 1 minute mark, minute to go. In this second round, it is scheduled for 8. Roy Jones in his second professional bout. Coming off his performance in the Olympic Games, Stephan Johnson at 9-2, 5 by knockout.
Right off the bat, Jones, off these first 2 rounds, is looking extremely better than he did in his first fight in Pensacola, where he looked like he was just taking up where he left off in the amateurs. Here, he's beginning to look like a pro. He is punching like a pro. He's keeping his head after he punches.
And again, Jones landing this time with the left hook. Roy Jones stepping up the action here in the second round. We'll be back after these messages.
Roy Jones' last flurry before the bell. Look at that. Right hand and then a left hook afterwards. That's the kind of stuff that knocks people out.
And this is round 3. Roy Jones in the white, Stephan Johnson in the black trunks. One of the problems that Johnson has had during the course of his career, conditioning. He has run out of gas, in particular at the end of the round. Usually looks better earlier in fights than later. And from time to time, and looking at some of the tapes, we noticed that Johnson's mouth has been wide open from the third round on. So stamina may be a factor if Johnson gets to that point.
Well, his stamina is going to be put to the test because he's eating just about a lot of leather. About everything that Roy Jones is throwing is landing, and some of it very hard and right on the button. So he's going to be wearing out Stephan Johnson, whose plan it was to start fighting after the third round, and the way it's going,